Okay, so we're ready for a coal delivery this week. Probably the only real maintenance thing I have left to do is to lube up the rollers on the crate. So that we can do anytime. But everything else is done. Lubed up the motors. And changed the oil in the gearbox with 80/90 and pulled the cover off of the bearing housing, and it's always hard to tell what the oil level is in there, so I just squirted some more oil in there, and as you can see it peed out on the floor, so it's full. Just so you know, and most people don't realize this shaft just goes through a hole in the front and the back of the bearing box. There's no seal on it or anything. It's just kind of close to the same size hole as the shaft. And periodically, because the shaft spins and the stuff inside there spins, it'll push some out the front or the back. Not really anything you can do about that. I mean, this thing gets really hot. Like the fan plate will get over 450 degrees, and the fan itself is on the end of that shaft, so it's going to get real hot too. So yeah, that's why, I'm sure that's why in the original design they never put anything in there. They just made it kind of like a sump in the bottom, so it can sit there and you just check it once in a while and fill it up as needed. It has a sight glass inside of it here, but as you can see, I've never been able to use one there. The oil gets, it gets real dirty, so it's basically just black. And unless you want to take it apart all the time and clean the sight glass, I find it's easier just to take these 4 bolts out and look inside. So that's that. Still got to sweep up around here and get things a little cleaner. I did clean up the auger, so it's nice and shiny black now. I just put some 3-in-1 oil on a paper towel and just wipe it and wipe it and wipe it until it gets clean. And so we still have the barrel in there because we're going to get a coal delivery this week, but we still need to run it for the time that we don't get it yet. There's our new port, which is 98.5 inches above the floor of the coal bin. Now, yesterday we didn't show you what was going on outside, so let's go have a look at that. Out on that wall here, we've taken a piece of siding, that one there with the 4 X's on it, so that is just clipped in, it's not nailed in. So the idea is when the coal truck gets here, we'll remove that piece of siding and we'll be able to get the high lift coal truck to dump 4 tons of coal in there. So that'll be interesting. I'm hoping to not have to do any work. The way the bin was, if you got like 3 ton added on to what we have now, you would have to shovel coal to the back and all that fun stuff. This is over 8 feet high, so I'm pretty sure with 1 ton in there, all we're gonna have to do is jump in there, pull the barrel out, and then let her rip. It should be able to dump 4 ton in there without doing anything. Theoretically, if we could get it to that level, of course we have to extend extend our slats a couple feet more, or a foot and a half, something like that, theoretically you could get close to 6.5 ton in there. That's if you went 8 feet tall. So I don't really need that much. I only need about 5 ton or so. So this will work fine. Right now it's on a heat call. Fan's just running now because this has not reached 80 degrees centigrade yet. This is the stack temperature, and it inhibits ashing until it reaches the 80 degree C set point. As you can see, it's almost there. So I'm thinking, actually I guess it's probably going to go to 81 degrees C. Our boiler temperature just hit 150. Set point is 155, so on this thing it's going to go up to 160 before it shuts off. That's in Fahrenheit. This is the ash temperature. So the ash is cold enough right now for it to ash. But the stack temperature is not high enough for it to start ashing, but it is about to get high enough. And you'll hear the solenoid clunk on once it gets to 81 degrees. And the auger will start. There you go. Now it's running. This is the low and slow settings. The fan is running just a little under 1300 RPMs right now. Stock original is 2875 RPMs, and the auger is spinning at what is it? A little less than 4 RPM. It's like 375 RPM. And the ashing is set at 3 of those ashing teeth on that ashing gear. So if you listen, you'll hear this drop 3 teeth. 1, 2, 3. And that's that. Just about ready for winter. The ash looks really good. So we're definitely burning up the coal. Making some nice fluffy clinkers here. This is a full week. So it's running pretty good. There isn't really any. There's some very light chunks like that that are partly burned, but you have to expect that because this boiler, the fire chamber is on the boiler wall, so you know it's 180 degrees there, so that's where some of this partly burnt stuff comes from. So if you have a little bit of it, it's okay, it's normal. If you have a lot of it, something's probably wrong. But this is looking pretty good the way it is.